This is TechCrunch. Spotify is rolling out Audiobook Charts. I'm Imran Sheikh, and your Weekend Crunch starts right now. ChatGPT's reached 900 million weekly active users, OpenAI announced on Friday, putting the AI chatbot within striking distance of, 1 billion. OpenAI also shared that it now has 50 million paying subscribers. Subscriber momentum accelerated meaningfully to start the year, with January and February on track to be the largest months for new subscribers in our history, the company wrote in a blog post. It continued, people use ChatGPT to learn, write, plan, and build. As usage scales, the product improves in ways people feel immediately: faster responses, higher reliability, stronger safety, and more consistent performance. Well, the new weekly active user figure marks a jump of 100 million users from the 800 million that OpenAI reported all the way back in October 2025. Simpler times. Now, OpenAI shared the new numbers as part of its announcement that it's raised $110 billion in private funding, marking one of the largest private funding rounds in history. The new funding includes a $50 billion investment from Amazon, along with $30 billion each from NVIDIA and SoftBank at a $730 billion pre-money valuation. The round remains open, and the company expects more investors to join. Suno co-founder and CEO Mikey Schulman shared on LinkedIn that the AI music generator has amassed 2 million paid subscribers and $300 million in annual recurring revenue. Now, just 3 months ago, Suno announced a $250 million funding round that valued the company at $2.45 billion. At the same time, Suno told the Wall Street Journal that annual revenue had hit $200 million. That would indicate that the company has had some major growth in a short time frame. Now, if you don't know, Suno lets users create music using natural language prompts, making it possible for people with little to no experience to generate audio with very little effort. This has sparked concern from musicians, of course, and record labels who have sued Suno for copyright infringement, since its AI model was likely trained on existing recorded music. But Warner Music Group recently settled its lawsuit and instead reached a deal that allows Suno to launch models that use licensed music from its catalog. Suno's generated synthetic music that sounds real enough to top charts on Spotify and Billboard. Talisha Jones, a 31-year-old in Mississippi, used Suno to turn her poetry into the viral R&B song How Was I Supposed to Know, and signed a record deal with Hollywood Media in a deal reportedly worth $3 million. Still, many musicians have spoken out against the use of AI in music, including Billie Eilish, Chappell Roan, Katy Perry, and more. On Friday, Spotify announced that it's launching Audiobook Charts for the US and UK. Now, similar to the streaming giant's music and podcast charts, the Audiobook Charts will be updated weekly and highlight the top audiobooks overall and by genre. Now, these rankings are based on listening behavior and engagement on the streaming service, the company says. The new charts are accessible to both free and paying users within the Audiobooks hub. You can find them by tapping the search button in the app and selecting the Audiobooks tile to enter the hub. Then, you need to scroll all the way down to the Dive Deeper section to find the charts. Now, the move marks Spotify's latest investment in the audiobook space, following its official support of the format in 2022. Since then, Spotify's continued investing in audiobooks with additional features like the recently launched Page Match tool, which lets users scan a page from a physical book to instantly transition to that spot in the audiobook, and audiobook recaps, which are short audio summaries to catch you up on what you've already read so far. Spotify is saying the new audiobook charts will benefit both readers and authors by giving listeners a trusted way to discover popular titles, while also creating new opportunities for authors and the publishing industry to reach wider audiences. And it's worth noting that Spotify ain't only interested in audiobooks, as the streaming giant also recently ventured into physical book sales. Spotify announced earlier this month that users in the good old US of A and the jolly old UK will soon be able to purchase physical copies of books directly within the app through a partnership with bookshop.org. And folks, that's your Daily Crunch. Today's stories were reported by Aisha Malik, Amanda Silberling, and more awesome TechCrunch journalists. We'll see you here next week. And until then, find us at TechCrunch.com.